So the group that I had that was presenting today, they've been working in this book for quite a while now. They've been using paperwork that I had already had set up before we were using the reciprocal teaching. So it has everything minus the predicting part on it. They very naturally just kind of flowed into knowing what roles to do and how to do the roles correctly and how to present the roles. They're able to talk naturally, so they're a very fun group to listen to that can just flow in and out of discussions and conversations about what it is that they read. I have two other groups that are going to be moving into this type of book club, and so they have paperwork that's slightly different that does have the extra piece to it with the predicting that isn't on the previous paperwork. And these two groups are now working on how to talk a little bit more naturally, because it's not quite as easy for them to do, and that they're going to be working on how to work together in a group and getting their work done. So the groups that are just now starting their reciprocal teaching, they have more scaffolding in place where I will be sitting with them more as a guide to what it is that they have to do. We work on one piece of it at a time, so although they do have the paperwork to fill out, we will focus on one area of it to make sure that they have a better understanding of what they're supposed to be doing in the summarizing section, or in the clarifying section, or in the predicting section, or in the questioning section, and not just let them have at all pieces at the same time for fear that they might get lost and overwhelmed. Yeah, what roles today? What are you?
I'm pretty sure you take I'll be the predictor.
You're the predictor.
Questioner.
Questioner.
And I don't.
You don't have a role today.
I'm the
And then questioner.
yeah.
And then you can work on questions too. Questions, predictor, summarizer.
Questioner.
No.
Yeah, I said questioner.
Okay. You know your roles. I might have got them mixed up by saying.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead and start. You don't have to raise your hand. It's not me.
The co-carer will
And what in the story, what was the connection between the two? She talked about her not being able to do something, and Squirrel talked about
how he's not being. She
is not able. What is it that they're not able to do, Gideon? You know? Okay.
I think it's they're not able to find food easily.
No, but what about their limbs? About that
Oh,
connection?
they're not able to move around easily.
Yeah. What did
They're
the
not
lady say?
She said that my legs were not like they used to be. My knees were not like they used to be.
And it was hard for her to get up and stuff out of the chair. And just like when Squirrel was getting up off of the ground, it was difficult for her to get up off of the ground. All right. Do you have any words that you came across that you need help with, Gideon?
I came across the word pangs, the middle of 148.
All right, let's look at 148. And it goes with the word hunger. They kind of go together. Hunger pangs. It's on the right hand.
Spasm.
Yeah, right hand side. Let's look at the sentence that it's used in though. Very middle. I couldn't even feel my hunger pains. How is Squirrel feeling at this point in the story?
Extremely hungry.
So what do you think hunger pains are, Gideon?
I'm guessing they're probably very bad somethings,
Very bad somethings? Like what somethings?
like hunger.
Yeah, so when you get really, really hungry, what happens to you?
Your stomach starts hurting very badly, and you drop
kind
into
of
your
get
knees. You drop into your knees clutching your stomach.
So stomach's hurting badly, cramps in the stomach, those would be hunger pains. Your body is telling you that you're very
Also,
hungry.
sometimes if you don't if you're still hungry, you might pass out or something. Oh my god. Or sometimes you might even die.
No.
From enough hunger and starvation.
Yeah, you might die from enough hunger.
Yeah, I know.
All right, so in this chapter, were there any other words up to page 154 that you didn't know?
No.
Grace?
I found 3,
Okay.
but one of them was you. It's any of several evergreen trees and shrubs
Okay, what page number was that on?
That was on the top of 150.
All right, let's look up there. What is going on with this you that it mentioned? Find the sentence that it said.
Is it on like this page?
It's in the top. I was sitting underneath a yew bush.
Oh, found it.
So if it's got the word yew in front of the word bush,
It's a type of book.
it's a type of bush. So that's just the fancy name of it. John. All right, let's go back to any questions that you came up with for this one. Who's my questioner?
Me.
Okay, go for it.
One of my questions was, could Squirrel become ill since she is old?
What do you guys think? Talk to each other.
I think like maybe because she's getting so old. She had a lot like injuries. She has a lot of injuries. Like she had to get surgery in her leg. She said that she could barely move her limbs, and like they're becoming stiff and very heavy. And she said sometimes they could just walk plain old slow.
Yeah, one time she even found out when she tried to wake up, like stand up.
Like her leg was asleep.
Yeah, her leg.
Yeah, and then she just fell right to the ground, and then that's how she found Susan, because she fell down, turned around, and then
There was a
turned her
house.
head around, and then there was the house.
All right.
So maybe
Gideon.
she's probably a bit more vulnerable to being sick because of how old she is.
Yeah. Also, she's
Because
been
her
like.
body's immune system isn't as strong as it used to be.
Yeah. Also, she got into like a silent. What?
Nothing. She's on.
She got into like she got into a fight with a dog and then a pack of dogs and then one like bit her in the neck and something happened to her hand where like it was just there was no fur would be growing on her palms.
Do you think that she's getting to the end of her lifespan?
Yes. I put in one of my questions is, do you think that Squirrel's going to die in the next section?
Probably is.
We only have two chapters left, right? Three chapters? Yeah, three, that's right. So we're at the end, so we're making some predictions that by the end of the story, maybe
She's
we're
gonna
gonna
die.
lose.
She
we're
has a
gonna
lot of blood. Well,
Her feet were bleeding, weren't they?
Yeah, she woke up and her foot was
I'm
bleeding.
predicting that she's probably gonna
Die.
If she dies, I'm gonna start crying.
All right, so let's move on to the next chapter that you had to read. So I need a summarizer of who, Abby, go for it.
The old woman named Susan McGrath, and she named Squirrel Addie. Squirrel said,
No, we're just going to keep going.
Squirrel said that Susan was a very busy person. When she fixed her lunch, she would give Squirrel, like she would throw off food on Squirrel.
Give her some bites.
Susan is bringing Squirrel to do some stuff at store. When they are going to the vet, then Squirrel is going to get a cookie. The woman told Squirrel to come inside, but Squirrel was afraid. Then she felt the warmth of her house, but she still did not know. Then she finally went.
Okay, so what I heard you say is that Squirrel's now in the house.
yes.
Squirrel's getting fed. Squirrel's getting warm. And this woman is taking her to the vet.
Yes.
So what do you predict this woman is planning on doing with Squirrel after she takes her to the vet, Jerron? Keep her?
I hope she keeps her because like the Beckers, they left her. They didn't keep her at all.
Yeah, they just
Like
abandoned her.
every time she's been to an owner, they either threw her out,
Mhm.
threw her and Bum, like George and Marcy, they just threw her out.
No, George did, not Marcy.
Yeah, Marcy wanted to keep them. George took them into the car while Marcy was at work. George got Bone and Squirrel, and then once they got to the highway, he grabbed both of them out of the car and then threw them out by the highway. And
So-
that's when the women took them.
So in the past, Squirrel's kind of been hesitant to be around humans.
Yeah.
So why is she now to the point where she has allowed herself to go into this house, Montane? What do you think?
Because I think that she needed the wealth and care
Uh-huh.
so that she could stay alive.
She knows that she's in desperate situation.
Yeah, she's like very desperate, so she's like, okay, maybe this time she will actually take care of me, she will feed me, she will be there for me, and she won't throw me out.
I honestly think that if after Susan takes her to the vet, if she needs any medication, she's probably gonna go get them and then take her back to the house and find somewhere and register her, get her collar and stuff.
I really hope that
Because
I really hope that Susan actually takes care of her because she's been through a lot like her mom's left, Bone's gone, her best friend got ran over by a truck, and the Beckers left, George threw him out. I hope Susan actually will take care of her and won't throw her out like the rest of them did.
Susan lived by herself.
Yeah.
So like it's like a man's best friend, but a lady's best friend.
So that's where I was going to go, but I'm glad that you went there. So this is all beneficial to Squirrel, but how is this going to benefit Susan?
She won't be so lonely and alone in her house.
But I got a question.
So she doesn't just have to always invite someone over if she wants to have company.
Yeah, that's probably very true.
I wonder if like at the end of the story, will they find Bone or will Bone be dead?
So going back, do you think that they'll find Bone, who's been gone for chapters now? And are we going to find her? You think? Would that be kind of certain, possible, impossible,
It's
likely,
possible. I think it's
unlikely?
possible.
It's
not
unlikely.
unlikely, yeah.
I think it's unlikely because pretty much the whole book since George threw Squirrel out on the street, Bone's been gone, and that's been like chapters and chapters and chapters.
Yeah, but
So I think it's pretty unlikely that they're gonna find Bone just in less than 8.
I hope
Because
that
that's only 3 chapters.
I know. I hope that they do find Bone, but it's kind of like unlikely for them to because he's been gone for like millions.
A lot of pages.
A lot of pages.
Montanay.
But also, it could be possible if they find Bone because Squirrel was sniffing out senses of Bone.
By the highway.
And it's possible, but I don't think it would happen because that's what's happening.
All right, so listen up, guys. You have 3 chapters left. We are not going to get this finished before Christmas break, but you are going to be able to get it finished over break. Can we meet, though, next Thursday and talk about at least the first chapter, 163 to 171?
Yeah, I think.
Okay, so have your summary written for that. Any words? Yeah, well, but not now. Summary written for page 163 to 171. Any words that you come across in just one question based off of that chapter, okay?
Okay, so